members of mobile repair teams are the front line of the maintenance system for vehicle and equipment casualties. Their job is to repair or recover damaged and broken down vehicles and priority equipment in both friendly and hostile areas. Their task is not only limited to war. Canadian experience in a host of UN peacekeeping deployments has demonstrated the need for real experience and tight discipline in carrying out MRT tasks. A thorough knowledge of sound procedures increases the amount of equipment quickly returned to service, and they will save lives.
Mobile repair has been a part of Army operations since World War II. And a good example of that occurred just prior to the battle for Ortona. In those preparatory battles, the Three Rivers Regiment, in one of them, had to leave stranded 3 tanks in the no man's land between the Canadian front lines and the German front lines. That afternoon, Captain Armstrong and Sergeant Fontaine from the LAD of the Three Rivers Regiment went forward and for 5 hours worked to extricate those tanks and bring them back to Canadian lines. During that time, they were under continual sporadic harassing fire. The tanks were used in the operations, the battles the next morning.
As you can see, the need for strong discipline, not to mention technical skill and bravery, is fundamental to good mobile repair techniques. Even during training exercises, when the heat of battle is artificial, it is essential that standard operating procedures be practiced. The type of vehicles and equipment required to facilitate repairs will be dependent upon the type of equipment being supported. For example, a mechanized rifle company using tracked vehicles will normally have a tracked MRT in support. And a unit using wheeled vehicles will normally have a wheeled MRT in support. Regardless of the type of equipment casualty or the line of maintenance responding, the same basic procedures will always apply. For the purposes of this video, we will see a first-line Bison MRT of Headquarters Squadron, 7th Canadian Hussars, being tasked and carrying out an MRT call for 11 Charlie, a Cougar of 1st Troop, A Squadron 7CH. The scenario is that of a mid-intensity conflict, and A Squadron's integral MRT is currently performing another task elsewhere on the battlefield. The communication of complete and detailed information is essential to ensuring that an MRT commander is prepared to meet the challenges of his task. This starts with the crew commander of the casualty, passing accurate information to the Squadron 2IC. This information is passed in the form of a repair or recovery request. Listen to this call.
19 Bravo, this is 11 Charlie. Vehicle repair request. Over.
19 Bravo, send over.
11 Charlie, vehicle repair request. Para Alpha, 11 Charlie. AVGP Cougar. Para Bravo, directo. Para Charlie, grid 325, 269er. Para Delta, engine turnover, won't start.
Depending on the type of unit and their SOPs, the format of the repair or recovery request may vary. However, it should always contain the following basic information as shown here on the screen. It is vitally important that this information is as accurate as possible and passed on quickly to facilitate an efficient and timely response.
11 Charlie, vehicle repair request, end. Over.
19 Bravo.
A Roger, a wait out. Eight, this is 19 Bravo. Vehicle repair request, over.
8 Roger, send over.
If feasible, the Squadron 2IC would then task the A Squadron MRT to inspect the vehicle casualty and make any possible repairs. However, in this case, the Squadron MRT is already tasked. Therefore, the Squadron 2IC will pass the task to the Headquarters Squadron Maintenance Troop through the Headquarters Squadron CP. Call sign 8.
A 19er Bravo, a vehicle repair request ends. Over.
8, roger up. 8, this is 8. Did you copy my last with call sign 19er Bravo? Over.
8-8, Roger, over.
8, roger up.
Finally, call sign 88 sends a runner to the MRT. Upon receiving his tasking, the MRT commander should then prepare a quick initial estimate of the situation, with a view to preparing a warning order for his MRT crew. In his estimate, he should consider the tactical situation and make a quick time appreciation. In his estimate of the tactical situation, he will be concerned with enemy activity in the area of the casualty or along any possible routes that he might have to follow. He should also consider friendly forces in the area and whether or not they may be able to provide any support if required. The requirement for any additional resources needed to carry out the task must also be considered. In his initial time appreciation, the MRT commander should be determining the following: estimated arrival time, estimated departure time, when to decam the vehicle, when to brief the MRT crew, and when to brief the CP. Once the initial estimate is done, the MRT commander uses this information to deliver a warning order for his crew.
Warning orders. Per Alpha, we have been tasked to go and repair 11 Charlie, located at grid 325269er. Right there. They appear to be unable to start their engine, even though it turned over. I suspect that the coil shaft on the blower is broken. Per Bravo, my briefing will be here in 30 minutes. Per Charlie, no move before 14:45 hours. Per Delta, coordinating instruction. While I'm at call sign 88, I want you to do the following: DI the vehicle, check the storage of the kit and tools, make sure we have a spherical shaft, and at 14:30 hours, conduct the radio check with call sign 8. As soon as I have returned and give my briefing, we will decam and depart at 14:45 hours. Do you have any question? No. Good, carry on.
While the MRT crew is preparing for the MRT call, the MRT commander moves to the CP.
Good afternoon, Master Barleveau.
Good afternoon, ET.
Yeah, just put your weapon there. Okay, first thing, I'm going to give you a briefing on the situation with the map.
Upon arrival at the CP, the MRT commander should receive a briefing from the CP on the following: any suspected enemy activity for the period covering the task, any friendly activity which will impact on the task, for example, any planned changes of the maintenance troop location while the MRT is away on task, reconfirm passwords, frequencies, location of NBC decontamination center, and ensure that he has sufficient codes to cover the period of the task. Following the briefing, the MRT commander conducts a detailed map recce to select a primary route out, a primary return route, and at least one alternate route. These routes must take into account the tactical situation, and when possible and practical, the route should be different.
Okay, ET, I'm ready. I plan my 3 roads on the map in oranges.
The MRT commander should then brief the maintenance troop CP as to his proposed routes
And in purples, my return road.
and his estimated time of arrival at the casualty and his estimated time of return to maintenance platoon.
Per Limo is 1745 hours, and I'll be leaving at 1445 hours.
The maintenance troop CP in turn relays the call sign of the MRT and its ETA and ETR to the A Squadron 2IC so that he can inform the crew of the casualty.
Orders. Okay, listen up. Situation. Enemy force. No real change since yesterday, and there's still the possibilities of 3 to 5 men lay back patrol in our area.
After the MRT commander is finished at the CP, he should then return to his MRT and give a detailed briefing to his MRT crew. The briefing should be detailed and follow the normal orders format as much as possible. Of special note to be included in his briefing under coordinating instructions are the action-on drills for enemy contact, ambush, NBC, becoming lost, mine strike, and medical emergency. Under service support, he must cover any special equipment or tools required. And under command and signals, he must reconfirm what the light and hand signals are.
Time check. In 10 seconds, it's now 2:35. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 14:35 now.
The preparation and presentation of the MRT commander's briefing should not be a long, drawn-out process. For the most part, the majority of what takes place on an MRT task should be a series of well-practiced standard operating procedures and drills. However, MRT commanders should not be allowed to become complacent and rely so heavily on SOPs that vital information is missed, and they are unable to or fail to deal with any unique circumstances which may arise. Vehicle navigation on any MRT tasking is obviously crucial to the completion of the task. Tactical movement should be utilized wherever possible on the battlefield. The MRT commander must be able to locate the casualty easily in daylight or at night, as well as while en route, ensuring that obstacles such as minefields or contaminated areas are avoided. While en route to the casualty and on the return journey, the MRT commander should give updates to the driver on upcoming terrain and turns. The commander will also indicate en route RV points. While indicating these ERVs, the commander should take whatever steps are necessary to ensure that everyone is aware of these locations.
Okay, driver? This is our first RV point.
Yes.
If something happens, you meet me back here. When you get here, you wait for 30 minutes. If I'm not back here, you go back to camp.
Okay.
Okay,
Understand.
let's go.
The purpose of these ERVs is to provide a location where everyone can regroup if they become separated for any reason, such as a mine strike, enemy attack, or becoming lost. ERVs should be prominent features, such as road junctions or distinct buildings that can be easily located both in daylight or at night. They should also be chosen frequently enough to ensure that a person on foot can reach them in a reasonable amount of time. Upon arrival in the vicinity of the casualty, the MRT commander should ensure that the MRT is stopped under cover approximately 1 tactical bound from the casualty, about 100 meters in daylight and 50 meters at night. If, however, the MRT comes across the casualty before they can stop, they are to carry on at least 1 tactical bound and then stop. Here, the MRT commander then quickly briefs his crew on his contingency plan in the event he doesn't return. This briefing should include how long he will be gone, what to do if he doesn't return, how long to wait, action on enemy contact, running password, and what hand and light signals will be employed. While the crew watch their arcs of fire and monitor the radio, the commander moves forward tactically to recce the casualty site. Under ideal conditions, the commander will recce forward while staying in the crew's field of view. If he has to move further, he will use hand signals to bring the MRT forward to ensure that he is covered. When close enough to the casualty, the MRT commander challenges the crew of the casualty vehicle, or vice versa. He then determines that it is the correct vehicle, the nature of the problem, and that the vehicle has not been left unattended.
Hi. Did you see anything?
No.
Did you hear anything?
No.
Did you leave the vehicle at any time?
No.
Okay, what's wrong with your vehicle?
The motor is turning, but they won't start.
Okay, what's wrong with
His
your
job now is to determine if the area is safe to bring his crew and vehicle forward, and he does so by making a sweep to secure the immediate area around the casualty. If the crew is not with the vehicle or tampering is suspected, the MRT commander must sweep the immediate area and search the vehicle for possible booby traps and confirm the nature of the problem. The MRT commander will be searching for makeshift booby traps such as anti-personnel mines, pull wires on grenades, and explosives. Meanwhile, the crew is ensuring the security of the MRT and keeping the commander in view at all times. When the area is secured, the MRT vehicle is brought forward, hasty-cammed, and sentries posted using the casualty and MRT crews to cover the most likely enemy approach. The commander then makes a plan to repair the vehicle and completes the task. Once the casualty is repaired, the MRT withdraws, ensuring that the casualty vehicle follows for a short distance to confirm the repairs, approximately 5 kilometers, and then makes a tactical return to the maintenance platoon, where the MRT commander reports to the CP and debriefs the duty officer. In time of war, and even on peacekeeping operations, an MRT must be prepared for contact with the enemy. Remember, our motto is Arti e Marti. While traveling, the MRT commander and his crew must always be watchful for obstacles, signs of road tampering indicating mines, and likely points from which the enemy could attack. If enemy activity or obstacles are encountered en route to or from the casualty, the MRT commander must react quickly and decisively, choosing a sound course of action. Whether it is to choose an alternate route or establish a hasty defense and return fire, or withdrawal to break contact, he must act quickly and notify call sign 8 through a sitrep or contact report. The MRT commander must also decide whether or not to continue with the MRT task. This decision will be based on the following information: the proximity to the casualty location, the intensity of the enemy activity, and whether he has sustained any damage. Once again, he must notify call sign 8 of his actions. An MRT must also be capable of operating in an NBC-contaminated environment. This entails the MRT crew performing IA drills and conducting the MRT task while in top high. What we have just covered in this video is a first-line MRT task. The general procedures outlined in this video are the same as those which would be used by a second or third line unit tasked with sending maintenance resources forward onto the battlefield. With minor adaptations for specific operational theater requirements, these procedures should be used wherever our EME soldiers are serving, whether on a UN deployment to Haiti or as part of NATO forces in the former Republic of Yugoslavia, and must be practiced while taking part in field training exercises in Canada. Mobile repair teams have a clear mission: the repair and recovery of unserviceable vehicles and equipment, even in hostile environments. A thorough knowledge of sound, practical MRT procedures improves our service and saves lives. Arti e Marti.